The 2025 Stanley Cup Finals are finally upon us. Game 1 begins tonight between the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers, a rematch of last season. So we are going to be going ahead, simulating and finding out what team will come out on top and what team will be able to win the Stanley Cup. Will it be Florida going back-to-back, or will Edmonton finally get it done? The Panthers versus the Oilers, a V2. It happened last season. It went to 7 games. We are going to simulate it again, and we are hopefully going to see my Edmonton Oilers get the job done. Simulating the first 2 periods, hopping into the third. First period, a 2-0 lead for the Panthers. Evan Rodriguez and Seth Jones will open up the scoring for the Panthers. Second period, a 4-1 deficit. Leon gets our lone goal, but Forsling and Verhaeghe are going to strike on Stuart Skinner, who's not great in game number 1s. And now in the third period, we're in a goddamn hole. All right, Edmonton, we are in a hole right now. Third period about to begin. We got the McDavid, Hyman. Hyman's not even going to play in the final, so I don't know why he's out here right now. But, I mean, I'm not for certain that this game is over. I mean, if obviously Florida scores another one here. Barkov going end-to-end. Sasha Barkov! Nice save there by Stu. 3-goal deficit. Shots are pretty much even, but the sim engine did not go Edmonton's side whatsoever. McDavid, what are you doing, buddy? Take the puck. Why are you trying to beat up on your childhood friend and Sam Reinhart? Try to actually score, maybe. Damn, nice turnover there, Nugget. Now, I am going to be taking control of the Edmonton Oilers. I do not care. My bias may show, but we don't need the Florida Panthers to win another cup. They won it last year. They got their cup. It's time for McDavid and Edmonton to shine, as Matthias Ekholm's going to dump that puck in deep. Stop Forsling. Oh, no, horrible turnover. Hyman coming in. Hyman, what a save by Bob. If I have to see this again for the second season in a row, I'm going to lose my mind. We have the second line out there now. Leon is out. Gustav Forsling leading the breakout, deking to the middle. Forsling again trying to cross creases, but Skinner is going to cover that puck up. If Edmonton wants to steal game number 1, also, yes, it had to be in Florida. There was no way of me making Edmonton getting home ice advantage because I think it bases it off of the regular season from Leon Draisaitl. Are you dyslexic? What are you doing, buddy? The Oilers are an absolute mess right now as Bobrovsky's going to glove that one down and acted like he didn't even react to the shot. We are about halfway through game number 1 in the third period. Florida still holding on to a 4-1 lead. That looked like offside to me, but I guess I'm blind, I'm deaf. They don't want to be refs right now. Podkolzin the other way. Nogi. Come on, Podsy. Come into the zone. Podkolzin's going to let one rip, but Bob again makes the nice save. Full pressure for the Oilers. Let's see if they can capitalize. Draisaitl out there with Podsy and Arvidsson. Arvidsson getting bodied by Luosterainen, but Podkolzin, he's in on that forecheck. He loses the puck. Stone hands, cement hands, chopping onions, whoever cares. Nicola over to Lundell, finding Rodriguez, and Skinner's going to make the save with his blocker. Shots are 24-21, so despite the shots being even, the score is definitely vastly different. Janmark into the zone, takes a weak shot on Bob, and somehow, some way, it finds the back of the net to make it a 2-goal game for the Florida Panthers. It's a 2-goal game with 6 minutes to go. I mean, I've seen crazier things happen, but the Edmonton Oilers are definitely going to have to push here for Verhaeghe. That was also like the shittiest shot of all time that went in on Sergei Bobrovsky. Here come the Oilers again. Adam Henrique the other way. He's going to dump it in and go after it. I got full forecheck on, but with 4:20 left to go, I think we might need that McDavid line out there on the ice. Verhaeghe over to Nate Schmidt, up to Sasha Barkov. Just won his 3rd Selke of his NHL career. Nuge. Nice turnover there, and here come the Oilers. McDavid the other way. He's into the zone. McDavid getting bodied, and it's going to go down the length of the ice. Not good for Edmonton, as the clock right now is their worst nightmare. McDavid into the zone. Connor McDavid waiting, firing one, and Bobrovsky can't handle it. We got a rebound. Nugent Hopkins back to the point. Viking Ekholm's going to fire it a little bit wide. Can they keep it into the zone? Do we pull the goalie yet? McDavid trying to center it. I mean, once we get possession in the offensive zone, I might end up doing it, but I'm pretty sure that hinders the team that's pulling the goal in more than it helps, especially with the computer AI. They're just so goddamn brain dead that they don't know how to pressure a player when they're coming the other way. Nate Schmidt is into the zone. The 35 seconds to go in game number 1. It might be a repeat of last season where Edmonton doesn't get a lot of offense off, and the Florida Panthers take a 1-0 series lead. Blomqvist, he's just killing time in the offensive zone. Ekholm, no energy, up to Jake Wallman. Over to Podsy. Podkolzin in the zone. He's going to lose in less than 20 seconds remain. It is a 2-goal game for Florida. Things are not looking too great for the Oilers, as they are most likely going to drop game number 1 yet again. With 5 seconds to go, probably the worst, maybe the second worst game 1 team in the postseason history is the Edmonton Oilers. And they are going to lose it as Florida takes it on home ice and takes a 1-0 series lead. Game 2, still in Florida. Hopefully the Oilers can get a split. First period, 3-0 lead. Leon, Hyman, and Hyman. Second period, it is now a 4-1 lead for the Edmonton Oilers. Here we go, third period of game number 2, and it's the exact opposite of game 1. A 4-1 lead this time to the Edmonton Oilers, as they try to protect it. Oh my God, Ekholm bombing one away on Bobrovsky, but he's going to make the nice save. Let's see if the Oilers can protect this league just like Florida did in game 1. Bobrovsky did end up giving one up early, or it was kind of midway point of that third period, but now Stuart Foreskin Skinner is going to have to play the way he has in the postseason to shut it down. McDavid just got clotheslined. Where's the 5-minute major? Come on, Pete DeBoer said that would be a 5. Forsling into the zone for Hagee. Nice save by Stu. There's still 16:40 left to go in this third period. Tons of time for the Panthers to get back in this one. Come on, McDavid. You got to fly, laddie. Oh my, Connor McDavid getting tossed around like a tossed salad. Nugent Hopkins running away from the puck, and it looks like the Edmonton Oilers are going to head to the power play. Gustav Forsling, a 2-minute call for interference on none other than Connor McDavid. I mean, they were battling for the puck, but hey, I will take that call any day of the week and twice on Sundays. 1:30 left to go in the power play. Edmonton, unfortunately, didn't get a lot on it. Here we go. Why do we got Adam Henrique and Connor Brown out there right now? Where is McDavid? Where is Draisaitl? Where is Corey Perry? Like, what are we doing? Luosterainen, he's going to move it up to Nate Schmidt on the PK. Florida's kind of controlled the penalty kill. Nice save there by Stu on the blocker. Matthias Ekholm the other way. Moves over to Hyman. Here we go. Zach Hyman. Over to Draisaitl. Leo, he's into the zone, trying to take a shot. Draisaitl on the rebound. Bob's going to make the save. Full pressure. McDavid over Nurse. Leo back to Ekholm, and he will bomb it. Matthias Ekholm is back, and the Oilers have a 5-1 lead here in the third period of game number 2. 12 minutes remain in this third period. Edmonton, barring an absolutely historic collapse, should be able to split this series, headed back to Berta. McDavid walking out of the backhand, and Bob's going to cover that one up. Still, lots of time to go in this third. I mean, I don't know if Florida really has an opportunity to get back in this game, but they can score a few. Maybe gain some momentum game to game, although I don't really believe in that. They can definitely try to solve Stuart Skinner. Only one goal here in game number 2. That is not going to cut it if they want to go back-to-back. Nice play by Wallman. Never fucking mind, Jake Wallman. What are you doing? Wallman, you got to move it out, buddy. Jake Wallman plays nothing like he does in real life. This is absolute BS. EA trying to screw me right now. Janmark, where? Matthias Janmark. What are you doing, Janmark? Come on. Janmark, get it out of the zone, buddy. Oh no, 2-on-1, Sam Reinhart over, and there it is. Sam Oskevich will bury it on the one-timer, all thanks to Jake Wallman, and all thanks to Matthias Janmark. All right, so Florida gets within 3, although it's going to be a tough ask for them to come back in this game. Sam Oskevich, but Skinner will flash the leather. My foreskin daddy, huh? Who the hell just said that? I know it wasn't me. Who's talking? Is somebody talking? 6:24 left to go in this game. Sam Bennett's going to lose that job, but he's going to try to take somebody's head off. I know he is. Moves up the wall. Over to Leo. Draisaitl's into the zone. Nice little toe. Draisaitl on the backhander. Just getting a shot on net. Trying to kill some clock. We got 5 minutes to go in the third. Sam Oskevich looking for a second of the night. Sam Oskevich over. Seth Jones fires one. Saved by Stu, but the Panthers still have it. And they're going to get full pressure here shortly if we don't get out of the zone. Draisaitl move it up to Pod Colson. Podsy's into the zone. He's going to lose it. And Kulak, do you know what offside is, dude? 3 minutes remain in this third period of game number 2. Luosterainen's into the zone. Trying to get any offense for Florida. Seth Jones over to Lundell. Takes a shot. Stu's been good, man. And never mind. He allows one right after I give him some glaze. As E2 Luosterainen makes it a 2-goal game, but it might be too little too late. One more quick goal, and it all of a sudden becomes scary hours here in Florida. Nugent Hopkins over to McDavid. We got to, kill some clock in the offensive zone. Sergei Bobrovsky is going to cover that one up. 1:20 left to go here in the third period. Jones moves up to Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe getting bodied. Forsling, he gets bodied by the wrecking ball that is Zach Hyman. Unfortunately, he was too dumb to pick that puck up, but luckily he is rich. Grew up with rich parents. He's going to be fine. Gustav Forsling the other way. Forsling rips one. Skinner absolutely no-sold on that shot there. Empty net for the Florida Panthers. Come on, Nuggy. Over to McDavid, and there we go. Connor McDavid will seal the deal on game number 2. Oh, captain, my captain. We now have 35 seconds to wind down that clock and head back to Berta with a 1-1 split. Obviously, game 1 didn't go our way. Sim Engine was a lot nicer in game number 2. And in the third period, we pretty much took care of business. Reinhart, Mikola, oh my. Sasha Barkov might be injured after that one. I pray to God he is. Connor Brown 2-on-1 the other way. 16 seconds to go. We really don't even need another shot here. Just kill some time. Nugent Hopkins down low. There we go, buddy. That's a good strategy / play. 5 seconds left to go in the third period of game number 2, as we are now going to make the switch to Edmonton with a 1-1 series tie after 2 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. Game number 3 in Edmonton. First period, we got a 1-1 tie. Finally a close game. Second period, and the Florida Panthers have a 3-2 lead thanks to Lundell and Verhaeghe. Here we go. Game number 3 in Edmonton. We're basically the last year's playoff Stanley Cup Final Series. Delayed penalty. Wait a minute. The Edmonton Oilers, Sasha Barkov went full Nathan MacKinnon off the draw. Cross-check Connor McDavid. And all of a sudden, Edmonton's power play has an opportunity to tie this game up. The Oilers have a chance here to tie the game up. We've had 2 blowouts to start the Stanley Cup Finals. Finally a close game, 3-2. Shots are pretty low at 20-18. McDavid coming in. McDavid takes a shot, and how did that go in? It is a ho-ho hat trick for McDavid in game number 3, as the Edmonton Oilers will tie the game up at 3. I don't even know how that went in. I don't even know how McDavid sniped it, but low-key kind of looks similar to his goal on Bob last year in the Cup Finals from a very tough angle. He just takes the shot from the hash marks, and Sergei Bobrovsky got absolutely nipped short side. 18:25 left to go here in the third. Edmonton tied the game up. We're back to 5-on-5. Hyman in the zone. He cannot get a shot, cannot get it deep. That might cost us here. Barkov. As Florida, their forecheck not really... Oh, never mind. Just as I say that, Reinhart on the backhander. Nice save by Stu. 16 minutes to go. Reinhart walking out again, passing it to Zach Hyman as Stu is going to cover that puck up. Sasha Barkov with a nice turnover over to Jones. Sam Reinhart trying to get the line, but of course, Edmonton's D has been very good throughout the entirety of the postseason. We'll see if it stands the test of time. Jones over Barkov. Nice save by Skinner. Back to Seth Jones again, ripping one. Stu's going to make the save. He's been playing on his head so far here in the finals. Pod Colson, we got full pressure. That puck needs to get out. Oh my God, it has to get out, Jake Wallman. Cross ice to Victor Arvidsson. Arvy over to Podsy. He's in the zone. Pod Colson trying to spin and fire one. Victor Arvidsson, you got to get up, buddy. What happened? Barkov again has went full Shoresy right now, taking penalty after penalty. That is not Paul Maurice. What did EA Sports do to that man? That is disrespectful. All right, Edmonton back on the power play. We got a Bouche bomb right off the bat, but no goal. Bouchard again rips one from the blue line. Henrique on the backhand, and Bobrovsky is going to flash that leather. We're going to win that draw. Back to Bouchard. Over to Nugent Hopkins. Down low the draw. He's going to cycle it to McDavid. Back to Bouchard. Bouche to Nuge to Draisaitl. Somebody's got to shoot. Draisaitl trying to, but he can't get one off. Nugent Hopkins. Devin Bouchard again waiting. Back to Nuggy. He fires one right off the skate blade. 8:40 left to go here in the third period. We are all not... Oh my God. What is that, Ekholm? That's such a non-Ekholm play. I swear to God. Barkov down low, finding Reinhart. Toe drag release. Nice save by Skinner. Get it out, Edmonton, please. Carter Verhaeghe's going to turn it over to Connor Brown. Up to Evan Bouchard the other way. Here comes Bouchard. Creating some offense. Evan Bouchard with a Bouche bomb will give Edmonton the lead here in the third period. All right, 1-goal lead, 6 minutes to go in the third. I'm feeling great. Edmonton was down by 1 entering the third, and this comeback team, man, all heart. Henrique takes a shot, rebound. Janmark cannot bury it. Brown gets bodied in the corner, full pressure yet again. I mean, this has been an onslaught by Edmonton in this third period. We've had 2 power plays, we've had 2 goals, and we've had too many chances for the Florida Panthers to win this hockey game. Sam Oskevich over to Bennett. Sam Bennett entering the zone, finding Bobquist. Shot, and Skinner with a nice save. Easy save. 3:18 remains here in the third. Verhaeghe trying to battle that puck free. Evan Bouchard, though, he's going to break it out over to the best player alive. Up to Nugent Hopkins. The clock is the worst enemy for Florida. McDavid trailing. Nice shot and a nice save. He was going for goal number 4. Already a hat trick in this game. What a save by Bob on Ryan Nugent Hopkins. Unbelievable. Verhaeghe the other way. I wonder when Florida's going to pull their goalie. It has to be soon, right? Oh no, 2-on-1 the other way. Hyman over to Nuggy, trying to find McDavid in the middle. Nugent Hopkins, and even with no stamina, Sergei Bobrovsky standing on his head yet again. Down low, McDavid finding Nuggy. Nugent Hopkins back to Jake Wallman, who I guess was looking at the big bird in the crowd. Did that Oilers girl with the massive cannons come back? Is that why he got distracted? Come on, Edmonton. You guys. Oh, my. Jake Wallman. There it is. Hit the goddamn gritty. Where's it at? I'm not seeing no gritty. I'm not seeing enough movement. Mr. Gritty Man himself will pretty much ice the game as the Oilers are going to win their second in a row, take a 2-1 series lead, and now panic is going to set in for the Florida Panthers as they cannot beat Stuart Foreskin Skinner. 10 seconds remain here in the third period of game number 3. Zebra, what do you got? What are you doing with your arm up in the air, buddy? Let's just get out of Edmonton. There we go. Sink it, Darnell Nurse. 6-3 game. The Florida Panthers are falling apart, and right now it is looking like the Edmonton Oilers are a team of destiny. 5.6 seconds remain here in game number 3 as the Edmonton Oilers have an opportunity headed into game 4 to take a dominating stranglehold 3-1 series advantage as they go up 2-1 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Here we go. Game 4, first period, 1-0 lead to the Oilers. Brett Kulak gets us going. Second period, a 2-1 lead for Edmonton. It's the depth scoring yet again for the Oilers. Game 4, third period time in Edmonton, and the Oilers yet again have a 1-goal advantage. Seth Jones, actually no, they were down in the third period, I believe, of last game, and they somehow crawled all the way back. They scored a boatload of goals. And the Panthers right now, this is as close to a must-win as you can get. Down 2-1 in the series. On the road, you gotta get the victory. Shots are 26-20 for Edmonton. Barkov's gonna lose it to the better player in Connor McDavid. Hyman's gonna skate that puck out over to Ekholm. Up to Connor. McDavid finds Nugent Hopkins. Moves it over Hyman. Into the zone. Can't get a shot on net as Seth Jones sent him to another galaxy, if I'm being honest. Reinhardt to Barkov. Nice save by Stu. 17 minutes to spare here in the third period. Move it up. Here we go. Get the wheels moving, kid. Over to Ekholm. Matthias Ekholm. And he dump it in. Ekholm's going to get into the zone, take a shot on Bob, and go for a change. Barkov finding Verhaeghe. Here come the Panthers the other way. Their forecheck has not been great here in the Cup Finals, as EA Sports expects every single team just to trap it up in the neutral zone and not actually try to go ahead and forecheck on the other team. Mikola up to Sam Bennett. The Rat himself is going to double it in. Speaking of the Rat, I've not seen Brad Marchand on the ice yet. It feels like we're only seeing the top 6s of both teams right now. Bobquist into the zone, and he's going to snipe it. He will tie the game up, and already the coach adjustment says to take a timeout as the Florida Panthers will tie the game up at 3. Or actually, no, it's at 2. My bad. 11:53 left to go. Henrique's going to win the draw. Over. Wallman takes a shot, but Bob's going to glove that down and settle everybody down. Hockey game is all knotted up at 2, but the Edmonton Oilers are coming. Pause. Go, Janmark. Get on that puck, buddy. Your hockey IQ is showing right now. Lundell coming in the zone. He's going to lose that puck. Wallman to Brown. Here comes Edmonton. Can we, get our first line back out there on the ice? I know they're kind of tired, but it's McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, and Hyman. We got to get the big dogs out here. Big dogs got to eat, baby. Lundell over to Luosterainen. E2 Luosterainen's going to lose that puck. Lundell finding Rodriguez. The Panthers struggling to get into Edmonton's zone. Here comes Hyman. 2-on-1 the away. Zach Hyman's going to take a slap shot, and Bobrovsky's going to make the save. McDavid's going to win that draw. Oh my God, Nurse, but Bob again, no rebound. He covers it up, and then he's cocky enough to play that puck. Very interesting by Sergei Bobrovsky. Here come the Panthers. 5:40 left to go in the third. Samoskevich finding Seth Jones. He's going to miss the net, thank God. Oh my God, I just thought about it. We might have overtime here in game number 4. That could be an absolute disaster. Seth Jones, easy play there with no stamina. Over to Forsling. Up to Blomqvist. 4 minutes remain in the third period. All tied up at 2. Connor McDavid, nice one-touch deke. Trying to leave it for Jake Wallman. Wallman, he's going to center it. McDavid trying to fire it. He can't get a shot off. And the Panthers are going to move the other way. Forsling, nice turnover. Victor Arvidsson all alone. Arvy in, and he will bury it. Victor Arvidsson on the breakaway will give Edmonton the lead in the late stages of the third period. 1:47 left to go in the third, and the Edmonton Oilers hold a 1-goal lead over Florida, trying to go up 3-1 in the Cup Finals. Leo into the zone. Arvy's going to take a shot. Bob with the save, and it is out of play. Less than a minute remains here in the third period. Florida definitely going to pull their goalie pretty shortly once they gain possession. Verhaeghe walking in. He's going to miss it. Verhaeghe on the rebound. Stu with the save. 45 seconds to go. Come on, Edmonton. Defend lead. Victor Arvidsson just backhanded on net and get an offensive zone draw. Less than 40 seconds to go. Mikola moves it up to Verhaeghe. Carter Verhaeghe entering the zone, and there it is. Bob's going to the bench. Podkolson. Composure here, buddy. We got to make the right play. Matthias Ekholm up to Leo. Draisaitl. Seriously, Leon Draisaitl. You could have skated that one into the net, and instead you elect on shooting. If we get scored on here, I'm going to be a mad, mad puppy. Bobquist over to Lundell. Stu's going to make the save with 16 left to go. 16 seconds to go. Sam Bennett wins it. Back to Balinskis. He's going to take a shot, but I believe it hit somebody's shin pad. Nurse the other way. Cross ice to Nugent Hopkins. Nuggy. Somebody's got to get it out. McDavid got 5 seconds to kill. Can the Oilers go up 3-1 in the Cup Finals and potentially win the Stanley Cup in game number 5 back in Florida? Here we go. Stanley Cup in the building back in Florida for game number 5. First period. Oh no, the Oilers are up 3-0. Henrique, Jones, and Hyman. Second period, and it is a 4-1 lead. Here we go. Cup in the building in game number 5, and the Oilers, they smell blood. They're like sharks in infested water. Once they smell blood, you better look the hell out. Oh my, Verhaeghe missed the net, not by much there. Evan Bouchard leading that rush over to Nuge. Nuge into the middle. He's going to turn it over though, and here comes Sam Reinhart the other way. I don't know why he just curled right into Connor McDavid, allowed him to bump him off the puck. Nugent Hopkins, he turns it over. It is a turnover fest here in Florida. As the Panthers right now, they look like they are running out of gas. Nugent Hopkins over to Hyman. Zach Hyman up to McDavid. Trying to move it on the wing to Nugent Hopkins. He'll at least get a shot on net and an offensive zone faceoff. 15-20 left to go in the third. Edmonton holding on to a 3-goal advantage. It is like the Toronto Maple Leafs back in 2013, but we are not the Leafs. Over. Draw. Tuck it home. One more goal, and honestly, the game is over. The game might be over already. But Florida, they're sticking around. They're trying to build some momentum, and they're trying to just get one. You get one, you're back in the hockey game, and all of a sudden you got momentum on your side. You're buzzing like I'm buzzed before game 1 of the Cup Finals. Mikola's going to turn it over to Darnell Nurse. That was a brutal turnover if I've ever seen one myself. Timoskevich takes a shot. Skinner with the save, though. Bennett. Bobquist, another save by Stu. Nurse moves up to Podsy. Here we go the other way. Halfway through the third period, Arvidsson takes a shot. Easy blocker save by Bob. We got full pressure in that offensive zone. Connor Brown. Okay, Brown, you're going to end up taking a penalty, buddy. Calm down. The Cup is in the building. You got to behave. The Stanley Cup gets in the building, and everybody starts acting wild. Nobody is their self anymore. Brett Kulak over to Connor Brown. Connor Brown, he's going to gain the zone. Over to Adam Henrique, who takes a shot. Easy save by Bob, but as long as we're killing that clock in the offensive zone, I am not complaining, not one bit. 17 left to go into the third. Shots are 26-23 for Edmonton. Brett Kulak takes a shot. If Edmonton can play in the offensive zone in the third, there's not a lot of time for Florida to cook here. McDavid hard on the back check. You know he wants that Stanley Cup. Over to Kulak, Evan Bouchard. Up to Zach Hyman. Hyman trying to get by his defenseman, but he can't do it. Here come the Panthers the other way. Odd man rush. AJ Greer takes a shot, and it's in. It's in the back of the net. The Panthers are back in the game. It is 4-2, but the question is it too little too late? 3:40 remains in the third period, and that is what is remaining between the Oilers and a Stanley Cup here in 2025. Edmonton, you got to play hard. You got 2:30 left to go. Let's trap it up. No more full attack. We're going to go not neutral zone trap, or we're going to sit back for a little bit. 2 minutes remain in the third. Nugent Hopkins gets a shot in deep, and McDavid's in there on it. The Panthers, of course, they're in the game. It's only 2 goals. An absolute collapse would be disastrous for Edmonton, but I believe that they are a different team this season. They're going to kill the clock. They're going to get the job done, and they're going to win Lord Stanley. Florida's going to empty their net once they get an opportunity to do so. Ekholm. He's not going to allow that, though. Matthias Ekholm, backhander on net. Rebound. Podkolzin couldn't bury it. Over to Arvidsson. He takes a shot. 35 seconds to go in the third. Florida is struggling to break out of their own zone. 25 seconds to go between the Oilers and a Stanley Cup. Come on, Edmonton. We can kill this. This is no time at all. Get into the zone. Victor Arvidsson, less than 20 remains. 20 hard miles. Come on. Draisaitl over to Podkolzin. He doesn't get a shot on net. And it will backfire for them as the Edmonton Oilers will get the revenge off of last season, dominate Florida in 5 games, and Connor McDavid finally gets his first ever Stanley Cup in his NHL career. They dominated Dallas. They dominated Vegas. They dominated LA after the first 2 games, and they dominated the Florida Panthers in 5. They lost the first game. They won 4 in a row. They didn't look back. And finally, everybody can shut the hell up. I had to listen to so many haters all season long. McDavid becomes the 4th player in NHL history to have back-to-back Conn Smythes. I believe joining Gretzky, Lemieux, Crosby, and somebody else. Or that he would be the fourth. He would definitely be the fourth. And there it is. The Stanley Cup being raised in Florida. We didn't get to win in Rogers Place, but that is okay. It doesn't even matter. The fans are going crazy. Pink Pony Club is being played. Play La Bamba, and Connor McDavid finally the pinnacle, the top of the mountain, as he is finally a Stanley Cup champion. Connor McDavid showed up in the Cup Finals. 4 goals, 6 points in 5 games. Draisaitl had 6. Nugent Hopkins had 6 apples. Zach Hyman with 5. Bouchard with 5. And the forwards of the Florida Panthers were literally nowhere to be found. They didn't get anything done offensively. Barkov, no goals, 2 apples. Reinhart, no goals, 2 apples. Where's Matthew Tkachuk? Did he even play in this game? Matthew Tkachuk is not even listed here for the Florida Panthers. He must have tucked his tail and absolutely ran once he saw the Oilers coming that hard in the Stanley Cup Finals. Well, that is going to do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I would like to say thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.